Hi, I'm going to do a very quick favorites video for you for January and December, really. We'll just kind of do January to February type thing here. I'm absolutely loving a couple of items, but really it's just a few items this time. I usually have so many things that I end up having to carry some of them over to the next month. But to be honest, I haven't really been loving or rediscovering or discovering anything in the months of December and January that I couldn't live without. So there's just a few items here. The first thing is a foundation that I believe has been discontinued, but this provides such a great option for contour. So consider this perhaps a different foundation. Using just a cream foundation as your contour can be a really good option. This one is by Op, and it actually has a brush applicator. Now, this brush applicator would be a nightmare for a makeup artist because you would have to clean this every time. But for yourself, it actually works out pretty well. You squeeze the product through or push the brush and the little product comes through, and it makes a really good contour situation, especially because it's not a super warm shade of brown. This is like 3 levels darker than my skin tone, but it's also not super orange. So if I contour with it, it doesn't look really messed up like a bronzer. So I really love this option for contouring, so consider that. You may not want to, of course you may not be able to find this exact foundation, but get a foundation and a few shades darker than your skin tone and see how that works with just a brush applicator for your cheekbones. I wouldn't necessarily use this for my nose. I wouldn't use it to warm up the skin around my forehead and contour the forehead. I'd just use a bronzer for that one. I would use an eyeshadow for the nose, but we'll talk about that at another time. This is just a really great cheek contour option. My next favorite item that I've been using is the Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Perky. This is a pink MAC product. It's just a cream eyeshadow that settles to a very soft powder finish, and I like it as a base. I use it pretty often just as an eyelid base, and I put a pale pink eyeshadow over it, and I feel like it just makes the eyeshadow stay put all day and provides a really nice warm neutral base for my eyeshadow. Third, I have my current favorite lipstick. Wearing it right now. This stuff is fabulous, and I've actually featured this in a video before, but I rediscovered it in December, and I have been wearing it almost exclusively as my red lipstick. This is F-Bomb by Urban Decay. It's a very saturated lipstick. It's just a great red. There's not much else you can say. When I apply it, I actually find that it stays on longer than most red lipsticks, but it never feels dry. And I cannot do matte lipsticks because they do feel dry on me. So therefore this is a really great in-between. It provides a super saturated color without the dryness, and it still lasts through meals. It's excellent. I love it, but you do have to finger pop for sure because it will come off on your teeth, just like any red lipstick. I really am enjoying the Smashbox Photo Op Under Eye Brightener. This is an older product. I'm not sure if it's still available, but if it is, I'm sure you will love it. It's kind of a highlighter with a brush, and I don't know if you can see that. It's not super shimmery. So the reason that it works okay for under the eyes is because it provides light reflection, which really helps with under eye circles, but it doesn't look glittery under the eyes, and it doesn't look super white either. So I really like it to compensate for a darkness under the eye. You can actually place it and then put your concealer over it. You'll still get that slight highlighted quality without it being really glimmery and, you know, like a glitter ball under there. I am loving the Benetint, and I've started using it as a base for my cream blush. You know, it's been around forever. It's great. It's just kind of a rosewater, very pink. It just gives you a flush to the skin, and it provides a really good base for cream blush, for powder blush, anything time that you want your blush to last a little longer. Really great for brides also. Just paint a little X of this on each cheek, immediately blend it in, because if you don't immediately blend it in, it might stain. But it's really excellent for, and it smells like roses, it's really excellent for a base for blush, whether it's a cream or a powder. If I use it under a powder, I'll just make sure I powder my skin first before I apply the powder blush. If I'm using it under a cream to prolong the wear of a cream, I'll apply the cream straight over it and then powder. So there's that rule still applies. Also, we've got the Photogenic Luminescence by Lancome. I'm discovering so many foundations since I started working at Dillard's, and there's a lot that I have just started to adore. This isn't one that I warmed up to right away. I'm not a huge fan of Lancome products in general, so the Lancome foundations were neither here nor there for me. But this one is great, and this is a really good one for photography. It's called the Light Mastering and Line Smoothing Makeup. I do feel like it minimizes lines, it minimizes pores, and it also doesn't flash back in photography, even though it does have a mild sunscreen of 15 in it. So for those of you looking for a luxury brand foundation and they don't really know which one to choose and you want it to look good under photography, then the Photogenic Luminescence is really excellent foundation. I'm wearing it today, and I think it has a pretty finish. It's sort of a satiny finish, but like I said, it will not flash back in photography, so it's an excellent choice for brides. And last but not least, my favorite thing for the last few weeks, maybe for the last month and a half, has been J'adore by Dior. I'm not a perfume person typically. I don't wear a lot of perfume. I have always loved Tresor by Lancome. That's my favorite all-time perfume. However, I never have really been a person who's worn a lot of perfumes in the past, and I'm obsessed with this perfume. I wear it almost every day. It's fantastic, and it lasts, and it's just not too heavy. It's beautiful. So it's got kind of a light fruity quality to it, and for those of you who like the smell of a luxury perfume like Chanel or one of those designer perfumes that isn't going to fade right away, something that's an actual oil-based perfume that will not be too strong, I think this is such a great option because it has a light fragrance, but it lasts and it smells luxurious. So I love J'adore. Definitely check this one out. And that's all. That's my favorites for January and early February, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this and let me know if there's anything that you're really loving right now. I'd like to check it out. See you. Bye.